sometimes I just feel like you don't like me.
Get out your head, girl. I like you. I like where we're at right now.
I do too.
I'm gonna make it easier. I'm gonna try my best.
God, I'm so emotional. What an episode. I don't even know whether I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm mad. I don't know really how I feel about this episode because I think the editing and the production have made it into I don't even know what to say. Okay, what I'm trying to say is this. Have you ever watched something and then, or read something, or seen something, and had conversations with people, and then you wonder, were we in the same place? Did we see the same thing? Did we read the same thing? That's sort of how I feel because, okay, so I've seen comments where people say Tyler is playing with Serenity. He doesn't really like Serenity. He's using Serenity. He thought he could use Serenity in a love triangle. And I don't get it, given I've just watched the episode, because I think production have edited this episode in a way that sort of takes away whatever relationship Serenity had with or connection Serenity had with Tyler, just because they wanted the drama. Because the audience voted for who they wanted to go on a date, which was Isaiah and Maddie to go with Chaz and Bria. So I don't get how it went from that to suddenly um, Chaz and Bria choosing to recouple with Timmy and Serenity because they were in the strongest couple. So I don't understand why they were drama free. Why it suddenly turned out that this is what happened. Anyway, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, season 4, episode 8. It's your girl Valerie. So we'll start off with Chaz and Bria. Chaz and Bria, obviously we know they're sisters. They came into the villa. They're the latest arrivals. They went on a date with Isaiah and Maddie, and I think their goal was to be messy, or Chaz's goal was to be messy, because um while on the date, he then brought up the fact that and Andy and Sydney had kissed prior to the recoupling, and I don't know why he brought it up because it was not his place to tell what had happened, and he's I don't know whether the producers wanted that brought up because they wanted the drama, and his sister refused to do it, so that's why they got you know Chance to do it. But I thought it was messy, and then obviously by the time they came back to the villa. Isaiah was in his feelings. He started kicking off. You could tell it was an exaggerated drama the way he was talking. He called for Andy and he was clapping his hands and he was shouting, "Oh, do you have something to tell me? Do you have something to tell me?" And it's like, this is why I say he's not yet mature enough, I think, for a seriously committed relationship. That's just my opinion. Andy, on his part, tried to play it down and then eventually owned up that yes, they did kiss prior to the coupling. And I don't see why it was such a big deal. And I don't get why he had all that smoke for Andy, but when Isaiah went to speak to Courtney, also to Sydney, she was able to get him to mellow down within a second. And so it doesn't make sense. If you're saying it's 50-50, then have the same amount of smoke for both of them. Anyway, so Isaiah, well, he's in that square with Maddie, Sydney, and Andy, and so when it comes to his relationship with Maddie, there's no relationship. I think they're just waiting for the next recoupling. And in regards, Sydney and Andy, Sydney now has buyer's remorse in the sense that she's now crying to everyone that she really wasn't that into Andy, and she would prefer to be in a coupling with Isaiah because she loves Isaiah, and she's worried that all the other girls are going to be interested in him, and so she started crying. And it's like, really, do we need this? I don't think we need this. You made your choice, you made your bed, now lie in it, and I hope nobody else finds themselves in the same situation. And it makes me realize that Jesse was actually lucky because he was in a love triangle and quick was able to sort of maneuver his way out and go back to Deb and be in that relationship. So I don't know what's going to happen with those four people. I think if nothing else, Andy and Maddie should have been in the bottom because there's really nothing to them. They're just boring. It's just I don't know. There's nothing to it, and I don't get why they Chaz didn't ask his sister to pick Maddie because Maddie's not in a relationship. At recoupling, he should have recoupled with her until unless the producers wanted them to recouple because had Maddie recoupled with Isaiah with Chaz and then Isaac recoupled um with Bria, then there would have been no one to put in the bottom. And I don't get why there's a bottom two when they could have waited a couple of days for recoupling and then eliminated whoever was in the bottom. I think they wanted to eliminate either Tyler or Zeta, and this is why they've done this because they want the drama and they want the audience to be very frustrated and want tune in to see what's happening. Otherwise, it's going to be, just another boring episode. Um, from there, Philippa and Courtney, we rarely saw them. They were just in the background. We rarely get to hear them speak unless they're speaking in a group with the girls or the guys. Um, Zeta, on her part, Zeta. Z- Z- Zita, I think, was making some unnecessary drama. She was just playing herself. I think she knew that if Timmy recoupled, if she didn't make a scene, then she would most likely be eliminated. So she wanted to still be in the mix, and the only way she can be in the mix is kick off because she had a conversation with Timmy because Timmy was telling everybody that he's interested in Bria, but then he didn't tell her that he was interested. He sort of went round in circles, and then eventually, when Zita was sitting with Serenity let it slip that Timmy had told her that she was interested in pursuing in having conversations with Bria, and off she went. Zita kicked off and kicked off and kicked off. I don't think they're going to eliminate her. I think if anything else, they're going to put Tyler out of the villa, which I don't understand why. So they had a recoupling, and Chaz chose Timmy for his sister, which I don't understand why, because they only had one conversation. So I don't get how they only had one conversation and then suddenly he thinks Bria had one conversation with Timmy and suddenly they think, oh, he's the right guy. I think they looked for the to recouple the people that they thought were either very popular or people that they thought would be very it would create a lot of drama and the audience would not want to see them go. I wish they would keep Tyler in so that we can see who Serenity will pick at recoupling. Anyway, and then from there, Serenity was crying that Tyler. I put on sexy clothes and he didn't seem interested. He didn't show any interest, even though there are new people in the villa and someone is sort of trying to show interest in me. And here's my point: Tyler is very laid back. We've all seen that in his conversations with the girls and the boys. Is very laid back, and surprisingly, once he connected with Serenity, he stopped talking to everybody else. And I was surprised when he suddenly, out of the blue, mentioned that he wanted to try and have conversations with Maddie and see how that went. And I think that was the producers themselves. I think it was the producers. And I don't get why Serenity was crying because she said her love language was giving, and he said his love language was touch. And so I don't understand why suddenly she's crying that, oh, he's not showing her any attention, even though they're new people. Had he done that, then it would have seemed forced. Then it would have seemed like he was only doing it because of the new guy in the villa, and she would have complained about it, saying that, oh, he's only doing it just because he knows there's somebody else who's interested in me. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think Tyler really likes Serenity. You could tell by his face that he was heartbroken when they chose her to recouple with Chaz. You could tell he was heartbroken because I think he's someone who doesn't show his emotions, who tries to remain stone faced, but you could tell on the expression on his face that he wasn't happy. And the fact that Serenity saying, "Oh, he doesn't show me attention," when everybody was complimenting how much and how good a speech Tyler gave about her when he coupled with her, I don't see what she missed out. I don't see how she didn't see that he really cares about her. My only concern is Tyler is the only guy who had shown interest in Serenity outside of Chaz. So if Chaz moves on, if Tyler goes home and Chaz moves on to somebody else, then Serenity is going to be at risk of elimination. She's going to be at risk of elimination because I don't think she has a romantic connection with anybody else. I think the only person she had a connection with was Tyler, and if Tyler goes home, then chances are she will be on the next flight home as well. I don't know. I don't know. It was a frustrating episode. It was really a frustrating episode, and I don't know why they've decided to recouple them like that. Jesse and Deb. I think the reason why they didn't choose Jesse is because they know that I think Chaz and his sister were worried, and Bria were worried that if they chose Jesse, Jesse might say yes, but after a few days he might go back to Deb because I think they think he's got a stronger connection with Deb. So I think they chose the most likely person that they thought would cause drama, but still not refuse to recouple with them. Because once Tyler goes home, if he goes home, that means there's a high likelihood that Serenity, if she's to choose for coupling, she's going to choose Chaz. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.